Back to our political science class. Today we have two sessions, and this is the first session. So remember, yesterday we completed the chapter executive. Clear? Okay, so 4 chapters so far we completed from our textbook part A, Indian Constitution at work. Indian Constitution at work. And same time, you just observe your class group, you are able to find the list of notes. Basically, from it is part B, political theory. Political theory, starting from rights, justice, peace, and development. So we discussed these factors or the facts from the textbook directly. Almost all the important points you already underlined there, right? And important questions also wrote in the textbook. Okay, I insisted to you people to write those questions in the textbook. So related with each paragraph, you are able to find those questions. Okay, at the same time in the notes also, brief notes are there, plus NCERT solutions. Okay, answer for the question that the questions are there in the textbook, right? Number of questions are there. Answers of those questions are there in that notes. Plus extra questions also are there. 1 mark answers are there. 3 mark answers are there. Passage based questions are there. Picture reading is there. All right. The same time, long answer questions also are there. So every day minimum 1 or 2 chapters you just revise it. Clear? Every day want to revise minimum 1 chapter, you can do that. So within 20 days we are able to complete our entire chapters. Clear? And the same time here we have 5 more chapters to complete. Anyway, within these 2 to 3 weeks I will complete that also. Clear? Okay, so regularly, today onwards, regularly, you go on to start, go for your revisions there. Okay, so any doubts regarding any particular chapter, you can ask that. Okay, so just remember the time is here. We want to start our revision, should not neglect it. Okay, so start it. So all notes are already uploaded. And next set of notes, that is from part A textbook, Constitution at Work. I think that first 2 chapters is already uploaded, right? If it is not so, just send the list. If you are missing any notes, just send the list again. I will send it, no problem. Okay, again I will send that along with the answers. Okay, so yesterday we completed the chapter termed as executive. So we know that executive, it's an organ of the government, right? Yes or no? So what is the importance of executive? Their main duty is to enforce rules and regulations that made by the legislature, right? That made by the legislature. A legislature means the elected representatives, right? So we know that there is a system of elections are necessary to elect our representatives. Clear? In a democracy, we are following that system, right? Elections are there. Tell me, what type of direct election we are using in India? What we are practicing in India? Okay, tell me the type of election what we are practicing in our country called India. Tell me, what is that? Ashish Benny, do you know the answer? Don't know, it seems. Fantastic. Amal Raj, what kind of election we are following in India?
The first past the post.
Absolutely correct answer. First past the post. That is the system of election to elect the representatives for the legislature in India, both for the central legislature and the state legislatures, right? Clear or not? First past the post. We studied this system in election and representatives. Election and representatives. First past the post system is the system that what we are using in India to elect our representatives. Clear? So that elected representatives are the members of the parliament or the members of the state legislature, MLAs. We'll use that term, right? Members of the parliament. Okay, members that people, those who basically elected by the people to the parliament, to the Lok Sabha, they are called to be the MP, member of parliament. Even Rajya Sabha members also called as MP only, right? But the Rajya Sabha election is not any direct election, right? It is another type of election. It's an indirect election. For that, we will use another method. What is that, Aishwarya?
The PR.
Yeah, PR system. Proportional representation, where directly elected MLAs and MPs have the power to elect the members for the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha, basically the MLS and MLCs. Okay, okay. So in India, we know that we are using unicameral system or a bicameral system. So unicameral means a single house for the parliament, right? Parliamentary system. Bicameral means two houses for the parliament. Tell me, what the system we are following in India? Or which system we are following in India? It's a unicameral parliament or a bicameral parliament? In India, I told you uni means one, bi means two. How many houses are there in Indian parliament? Tell me. How many are there?
2.
Yeah, two houses are there. What are they?
Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha.
Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Correct answer, Mr. Ashish. So, two houses are there. So, we can say it is a bicameral legislature. Bicameral legislature, right? Okay, how many members are there in the Lok Sabha in India? Already studied that in the previous chapter.
285.
No, I am asking about Lok Sabha. It is 543. 543. Okay, so just keep that idea in your mind. Okay. And in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, it is 245. Okay, write down. These are the members in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha in India. So Lok Sabha is termed as the House of the People, right? Right, House of the People. Okay. And Rajya Sabha, House of the Wise Men. House of the Wise Men, right? Clear or not? So which house is powerful house in India? The Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha? Tell me. Which
Lok
is the powerful house? Yeah, Lok Sabha. Why it is so?
More members are there, and if any decisions are to be passed, majority support should be there from the Lok
Okay,
Sabha.
correct. Lok Sabha is powerful, okay, because it is the house where the representatives are elected from the people, right? People's representative. So a democratical government is considering as a people government, right? So who is powerful? People, they are powerful, right? So that's why Lok Sabha is powerful. Lok Sabha is powerful than Rajya Sabha, related with various issues. Okay, there are various functions for Lok Sabha, right? And even for Rajya Sabha too. Clear? So why Rajya Sabha is termed as the House of Wise Men? We know that a proportional representation system is there, and at the same time, the President of India can suggest, he can choose or she can choose some people and appoint in Rajya Sabha as its members without election. Okay. President can nominate them. Basically from the people, basically people from different sphere of like sports people. Clear? The people, those who very much interacting with film, okay, literature, drama, or social activists, environmentalists. Okay, like that, various people are there. They are famous in their own sphere of life, different fields of life. Clear or not? Such kind of people also are there in a Rajya Sabha. Okay, the brilliant people are there. Economists are there. Film artists are there. Cricket players are there. Like that, various people are there in Rajya Sabha. Because they are able to give suggestions to the Parliament or the Council of Ministers related with the various aspects. Right? Clear or not? So if you want to know about something related with the football, we want to ask an expert in football, right? Yes or no? Want to know something about the cricket? We want to ask to an expert in cricket, right? Simply asking to someone, they may not be able to give the correct answer for that. So experts will be there. I mean, scientists will be there. Different personalities related with the different sphere of life. I already told you that will be there in the Rajya Sabha. So it's called to be the House of Wise Men. House of Wise Men. At the same time, there's one more name is for Rajya Sabha. It is called to be the Permanent House. What is that? Permanent House. It will not dissolve completely. Okay. The tenure for one member in Rajya Sabha, it is 6 years. It is 6 years. But 2/3 of its members will return in every 2 years. Clear? Understand? And new members will be there. So we can say that it's a permanent house. Permanent house. Clear? So tenure is 6 years. Okay. But it will not fully dissolve in that 6 years. So only one share of members will, what we can say, they will retire in 2 years, every 2 years. Okay, a particular share that we will discuss in the chapter there. Okay, so that's what is termed as the permanent house, permanent house. But Lok Sabha is not like that. What is the problem with the Lok Sabha? Maximum tenure is how many years?
5 years.
5 years. It is the maximum. Okay. After that 5 years, new election will be there. So the entire parliament will, entire Lok Sabha will dissolve, right? Yes or no? They will not have any more power, right? And if the prime minister resigns, okay, the same time, that also will happen. What will happen there? The government will fall, new election will be there, or some other procedures are there, right or not? Clear? But the prime minister resigns does not make any trouble for the Lok Sabha, only for the government. Clear? Understanding or not? The maximum tenure for Lok Sabha is called to be 5 years. So prime minister is resigned. Other parties are unable to get the confidence of all the members. That time new elections is needed. New elections, new election needed. That time we can say that the Lok Sabha dissolved, right? Clear or not? Okay, so that's what the thing basically we are discussing in the chapter. The powers of the parliament, powers of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, and methods of election to choose representatives to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha Rajya Sabha. Okay, so basically we already know that the numbers of seats in Lok Sabha, it is related with, or even from Rajya Sabha, or number of MPs. Okay, take it in a general sense. Number of MPs in Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha from different states is related with the population of the state. Population of the state. Clear or not? Understand? So there's a state called Sikkim. The population is nearly 7 lakh. 7 lakh. Clear? There is another state is termed as Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh. Okay. The population is nearly 20 crore. Clear? Okay. So for Uttar Pradesh also 10 representatives in the Lok Sabha, and for Sikkim also 10 representatives in the Lok Sabha. Is that justiciable? Can we justify that? Is that just a distribution of seats? Not at all, right? Okay, so the state with more population need more representatives, So we can say that from Uttar Pradesh, there are nearly 80 MPs are there in the Lok Sabha. 80 are there, right or not? One party is able to win majority seats in Uttar Pradesh, which means that party can make the government in the central. Okay. That's what the North Indian politics, right or not? Not only North India, entire India is related with that particular state called Uttar Pradesh, because 80 seats are there. So one party is able to win that 80 seats means majority is there with that party. The party can make the government in the central level. Clear? Okay, that's what the importance of that state. So Sikkim, only one member is there because population is so less. So less, population is only 6 lakhs. Okay. So how many parliament members are there from Kerala in idea? How many are there? How many are there? Is that 14? Each one for one district? No, 20 are there. How many are there? 20 Lok Sabha seats are there in our state, Kerala. How many MLA constituencies or constituencies for the state legislature are there in Kerala? How many are there? How many state legislative constituencies are there in Kerala? Write down 140. How many are there? 140 seats are there. Okay. Nearly 10 from each district. Clear? Okay. So more or less 10 members from each district. How many districts are there? How many are there? How many districts are there in Kerala?
14.
14. Right. Okay, so just remember these numbers. Okay, so we are discussing about the powers of legislature. Okay, so just open your textbook. I already told you that my file is not functioning properly. It's corrupted. I think that I want to download it again. Okay, so just open your textbook directly. I will discuss the things from the textbook now. So it is page number 100, legislature 100. Okay. First question, why do we need a parliament? Why do we need a parliament? The same question once asked in class 8 also. Remembering that? The same question. Why do we need a parliament? Tell me your answer. Okay, I will ask one by one. Okay, Elvina, tell me, what is the need of a parliament for we people?
Because it's a law-making body.
It's a lawmaking body. Then?
And it is in parliament, it includes the two houses,
Hmm.
the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha.
Okay.
And in parliament, it make the laws for the people. And
Then. Okay, correct, almost. The first and foremost thing, in a democratic setup, we want a unit or a group of people to govern us, right? We need a government first. Clear or not? Okay, so government constitute of executive, legislature, and judiciary. Clear. So a body of people or representatives, it is necessary to make the rules. Yeah, correct. Make the rules. Next one, to execute the rules and regulation. Clear. And interpret the rules and regulation. Interpret the rules and regulation. So a parliament is necessary. Okay, like a huge country called India, basically we are following a bicameral legislative system. Okay, what is that? Bicameral legislative system. I already told you that if two houses are there in the parliament, we can call it a bicameral legislature. So India is an example for bicameral legislature. The same time, the members of the parliament is from different states. Okay, and the people have the power to elect them basically to the parliament. All right. And the numbers of the members, numbers of the legislative members from different states are related with the population of the state. Clear? Okay, so I already told you that the problem with Uttar Pradesh, explained that problem with Uttar Pradesh and Sikkim, right? Now you got that. Why some states need more representatives? Because of the population. But if you are thinking about the American system, all the states, if it is big or small, same numbers are there. Same number of representatives are there from each state. That is their system, American system. But India it is different. India it is different. So legislature, they are the people making rules and regulation for the well-being of the people. And the same time, if any changes needed in the present administrative system, it is them or they are responsible to make changes in the constitution. It's basically termed as the amendment. We know that, right? Amendment. What is that? Amendment. So making changes in the existing rules and regulations in the constitution is termed as the amendment. Okay, clear? So it is the responsibility of the legislature. So legislature, we know that they are the representatives of the common people. So always they are accountable to the people. Legislature is accountable to the people. Okay, and we studied in the last chapter, head of the majority party leader, he is the president. He will be the president. Prime minister, right? Head of the majority party choose as or president will choose the head of the majority party as the prime minister and appoint him as the prime minister. And it is the responsibility of the prime minister choose the council of ministers from his own party, from the legislature, right? So executive is from the legislature only, right? Executive is from the legislature, and a legislator have more powers or a number of powers to control the executive in India. Okay, executive cannot take decision independently. With the consent of the legislature only, executive can take a decision or enforce rules and regulations. The consent of the legislature is necessary, too important to function. Okay, or functioning the function of executive is basically related with the legislature. Okay, so there are number of provisions are there to make rules and regulations in the parliament. Rules and regulations in the parliament. Simply we cannot make rules. Clear or not? So number of people want to support it, number of representatives want to support it, then only we are able to make rules and regulations in the parliament. For example, smoking is injurious to health, right? We know that. It's a statutory warning, the warning related with the constitution or the rules and regulation. But one more thing it is, what is that? Smoking is prohibited in public premises. It is a rule, right? It's a rule, everyone want to accept it. Yes or no? The first one is a suggestion, the next one is a rule, clear? So we want to follow the rule. The suggestion we can follow, or chances are there to not follow also, no problem. But if it is a rule, it is a responsibility of all the people in the country, those who living as a citizen, okay, in this country, want to follow that rule, and it is the responsibility of the executive to enforce the rule there. So if the legislature want to make a rule like this, there are a number of provisions are there. You know what is that? First of all, a minister or a member of the legislature want to raise a question and want to suggest a bill. So this like a demand for these rules and regulation or this particular rule is basically termed as a bill. Clear or not? Okay, so asking to the government, okay, or asking to the legislature, okay, to make a rule to prohibit use of tobacco products or cigarettes, BD or Gaini in the public premises. Clear or not? So it was a bill. That time it was a bill. Clear? Just a suggestion in the parliament. Okay. So more than what we can say, 2/3 majority, number of people or a majority in the Lok Sabha supported this suggestion. So we can say the bill passed in the Lok Sabha. Bill passed in the Lok Sabha. So people supported. I mean, number of representatives, majority of representatives supported the bill. Clear or not? So it is passed in the Lok Sabha. Next activity, the same bill wanted to send it to Rajya Sabha also. Rajya Sabha people also, I mean, the members of Rajya Sabha also wanted to support that bill. Clear? Clear or not? If they are rejecting, a combined meeting of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is necessary to discuss this matter. Clear? If Rajya Sabha is accepting that, no problem. Okay, so it is passed in Rajya Sabha also. The bill is passed in Lok Sabha, bill is passed in Rajya Sabha. Then what will happen there? The bill will send it to the Prime Minister. Okay, with the consent of the Council of Ministers, the bill will go to whom? The President of India, not the Prime Minister, but the President of India. Okay, the President of India will observe it, check it, and ask to the Council of Ministers. Basically, we know that President is acting as per the advices of the Council of Ministers, right? So he will ask the Council of Ministers to reconsider the bill. If any errors are there, means rectify it and resend it to the President again. Okay, if the President find it, there's no trouble, he will sign in that. So that bill become a law. The bill that turned into a law after the signature of the President of India, right? Clear or not? This is the procedure to make a bill into a law. Bill into a law. Is that idea clear? Okay, so next period we will continue. Okay, everyone, thank you.